Hey, what's up soldiers? My name's GregFPS, the Zombies Extraordinaire, and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. Today guys, we're going to be ranking every Call of Duty Zombies game from worst to best. Now obviously this is my opinion, so if you disagree that's fine, but let me know why you disagree. Comment down below if you want, but this is my personal opinion. I've never made a video ranking all the Call of Duty Zombies games. There's 10 of them, so I figured it'd be pretty interesting. So without further ado, if you enjoy the video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing, and let's jump right into it. Coming in at the number 10 spot is going to be Call of Duty Vanguard. Really no surprise there, I'm sure, for most of you guys. Now, I'm going to be honest and brutally harsh right now because we did not need Shinonuma for the fourth time. I think it is by far one of the most mediocre, boring maps that you could have ever added into a game. And the fact that it took 7 months to make it playable is pretty ridiculous. With that aside, the Easter egg adds a little bit to the map, but still it's not something I want to go back and play. And then the fact that we had a really bad Outbreak ripoff at the start of the game for 7 full months was just not enough content for zombies, and it was blatantly boring. There have been months and months where I have not even touched the game, and that is simply because I have literally no desire to play it. The last time I played Call of Duty Vanguard as of right now was 4 days after Shinonuma came out. Now yes, they're adding a new map in Egypt, which could be cool, and I hope it is, but for right now I don't have a ton of hope for the game anymore. And at this point I think Vanguard is just written off as pretty much the worst Call of Duty Zombies game of all time. Coming in at the number 9 spot is going to be World War II Zombies. Now, there are a lot of really good aspects of this game, and I respect the team that worked on it at Sledgehammer Games. Now, I'm not a big Sledgehammer fan by any means, but I think that they did a fairly decent job with the lore of this different game, and the Easter eggs were actually really good and enjoyable to do as well. I remember hunting them, and the boss fights were always pretty intense and difficult, which was a lot of fun. And the Final Reich is one of the greatest maps for a launch of Call of Duty games, just because of how much is going on. There's wonder weapons, there's a really cool quest, hardcore and just like casual, which is cool. And overall I think the map's great, but as it went on, like the tortured path was just absolutely abysmal and really just didn't feel finished at all. And other than that, like most of the maps were pretty good, but for me, I just don't enjoy World War II as much because it didn't have Jug and it had armor, and I think the armor system really hurt the game overall, and a lot of people didn't like that system, and I still don't enjoy the system either. Coming in at the number 8 spot is going to be Exo Zombies. Now, yes, I think Exo Zombies was more enjoyable than World War II Zombies for me. At the time, I went and played Exo Zombies a lot, and I still went back and played it before Vanguard came out and thoroughly enjoyed it. All the Easter eggs are fun and difficult, except for Outbreak, which is the first map. If you do them solo, it is pretty difficult, and I think Burger Town or Infection has a pretty good Easter egg besides escorting the stupid Burger Town employees and the like fog of acid that would come to different places. But other than that, it was a pretty fun Easter egg overall, and I definitely think the Easter eggs improved. Like the Descent Easter egg is actually really good, and even Carrier, there are some annoying things like the teleporting zombies where you have to build a teleporter, but other than that, I think that the Easter egg is really fun. Like when you're drunk going sideways doing an Easter egg step, that's pretty cool. And I think that Exo Zombies was a really cool idea, and it was completely different using exosuits than anything we had seen before, but the main drawback for this was that the weapons were really weak. Coming in at the number 7 spot is going to be Call of Duty World at War. What an amazing game World at War was. It was the first game that introduced zombies. So we had Noct, of course, and then Verrückt was a more difficult version of Noct with traps and perks. Shinonuma was, like I said before, a mediocre map, and all 3 of those maps only had 24 zombies per round, so you can still go back to World at War Shinonuma and go for really high rounds. Like I think Krups just broke the world record with like 11,400 and something rounds, which is crazy. And then of course World at War Derice introduced Pack-a-Punch, and Derice is an absolute banger of a map, one of my personal favorites, and you can play that map so many different ways, and I think World at War is a great game. So now we're going to be getting into the like really good zombies games basically from here on out. All right, guys, coming in at the number 6 spot is going to be Black Ops 4 Zombies. I love Black Ops 4, but more specifically, I pretty much only love the chaos portion of Black Ops 4. Ancient Evil, Dead of the Night, 9, and sometimes Voyage of Despair are all fantastic maps. When you get to the Ether maps, I am not a huge fan of Blood, but I will admit that it has a really good Easter egg, and pretty much all the Easter eggs in Black Ops 4 are solid, and they're fun to do from time to time. Alpha Omega is kind of a yikes because of the bombers, and Tagdertoen is a fairly interesting Easter egg overall. It's definitely different than most games that you'll see. And then Classified is fun to play just because it's basically 5 without the Pentagon Thief, and the teleporters made it a little bit better, which is kind of cool to see. And other than that, yeah, the game's not amazing, but it's not bad either. And I think that people overblew the perks system. I don't think it is as bad as people say. Now, obviously, there was no like Juggernaut and stuff, and I remember telling Treyarch that, along with every other Zombies YouTuber that got there early, that the community was not going to like the perk system, and look how that turned out. But it was too late for them to change it, and that's just how it goes. So anyways, Black Ops 4 comes in at the number 6 spot. Coming in at the number 5 spot is going to be Infinite Warfare Zombies. What an absolute banger of a game. I remember playing this as soon as it came out. I had the game early from Activision, so I was playing Zombies in Spaceland for hours and hours and hours. It was so fun to play. I'm pretty sure I stayed up for like 40 hours straight playing the game because I got it a couple days early, and it was so much fun. I remember even going to Call of Duty XP in 2016 and playing IW Zombies early, and I was like the first person to find Pack-a-Punch, and it said not available until the launch date, which was really cool at the event. And you could only play like 15 minutes or something like that. So overall, Infinite Warfare Zombies is great. All the maps are really fun. The boss fights are fantastic, and you can't forget about Mephistopheles. And also, you can really tell that Brian Bright and Lee Ross and the entire team put their heart and soul into the game. I know Lee Ross was literally sick in the hospital writing the storyline for that game, so mad respect to Lee Ross. I talked to him. I got invited to a bunch of those events as well in LA early in Infinity Ward, and it was just an absolute awesome game and experience to be able to experience that game and talk to the developers that made it and everything like that. And I have a ton of respect for the entire Infinite Warfare Zombies team. I wish there was a second one, honestly, but unfortunately most of the people don't work at Infinity Ward anymore. Coming in at the number 4 spot is going to be Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Now, overall, I think they did a ton of things right with this game, like the unlimited perk slots. You can buy every perk on the map. That was really cool. But one thing that really took away from the experience that I had on this game was the fact that we had to use operators. I think that really toned down the game for me personally and didn't add as much character to a lot of the maps. Now, maps like Mauer and even the first boss fight in Outbreak were amazing boss fights. They were so good, and I really enjoyed it. Like the Legion boss fight is honestly one of the best we've ever had in Call of Duty Zombies, and it was a ton of fun and really fun to look for all the Easter eggs and stuff. But the problem that I had with the game as far as Easter eggs go, where they literally handheld every single step, told you exactly where to go pretty much, and they're really easy to figure out, and that kind of took away from the experience for me. I would love to see longer Easter eggs with basically the same setup as Cold War with like the mechanics and everything, because I think that'd be a really great game. Cold War had some great maps, and it added to Outbreak over time. At first I wasn't a huge fan of it, but once they added more and more things to the environments and added more maps and things like that, it made Outbreak really good, and I enjoy it from time to time. I haven't really played it in a while, but I will go back and play it from time to time pretty soon. But anyways, guys, I will say that Cold War is a great game, and it comes in here at the number 4 spot. Coming in at the number 3 spot is going to be Black Ops 2 Zombies. Black Ops 2 is definitely my favorite zombies game, but I will not say it is the best. There are a lot of problems with the game, like Transit, Die Rise, and Nuketown. Now, I know people like those maps. I'm not going to say Die Rise is as bad as the other ones, but having maps like Mob of the Dead, and then Buried, and then Origins, which are all 3 fantastic, my top 10 favorite maps of all time, like back to back to back. It was insanely great at that point. That was like the highlight of my entire year in 2013. Once I played Mob of the Dead, I was completely hooked on zombies, and then Buried came out and it was so fun, and having Arthur and or Leroy all around. And then Origins, of course, is another fantastic map as well. So that really like switched on the zombies gears for me, because I wasn't as big of a zombies player as I am now until Mob of the Dead came out. So that was kind of like the thing that made me want to be a zombies YouTuber. So for that reason, I will always love Black Ops 2, and it always has a special place in my heart. But overall, that game was great with the buildables and things like that. It really added to what we have now in Call of Duty Zombies. So it comes in here at the number 3 spot. Coming in at the number 2 spot is going to be Black Ops 1 Zombies. Black Ops 1 is a fantastic game because all the different areas that we go on that map are completely different, and they are not the same at all. You literally go from like an abandoned theater to the Pentagon to the Cosmodrome in Russia, then in like the Soviet Union or like Antarctica or whatever, like way up in Russia for Call of the Dead. And then of course we go to the jungle on Shangri-La, and then we go to the freaking moon. Just think about that. Like all of those different areas are so different and unique, and that's why I love Black Ops 1 so much. And I think Black Ops 1 literally has the best wonder weapons in all of Call of Duty Zombies. I don't care what anyone says, like the baby gun is fantastic, the wave gun, the thunder gun, you can just go on and on. The Winter's Howl is absolutely garbage, by the way, but overall it's just a great thing. The scavenger's a lot of fun to use. The VR11's trash, but overall I think that Black Ops 1 just has so much variety, and that's why so many people still play Black Ops 1 to this day. So it's definitely a fantastic game, and it comes in here at the number 2 spot. And coming in at the number 1 spot is going to be Black Ops 3. Obviously, this was the game that I literally started posting zombies content, and ever since that game came out with Shadows, I've been hooked and posting zombies content pretty much every day, which is crazy. Now, we've definitely seen its ups and downs. Like there was a huge gap between Horizon Drac and ZNS, and that was a really low point for the zombies community, I will say. But having maps like Gorod and Revelations to finish it off with, of course, Horizon Drac, and all the maps pretty much aging like fine wine at this point. And then we got Chronicles, which was definitely one of the highest points, if not the highest point, in the Call of Duty Zombies community. Now I will say that the only good Chronicles map is Moon, and the rest of the remakes are not as good as the originals. That's my personal opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I do think that Black Ops 3, just, you literally can't say it's not the best game because of how much content it had to offer. Every single map remake was awesome, and then of course all the base maps were just absolute bangers. We got the Giant as well, which is a remake of Doris, which is a fantastic map as well. There was so many different things to do, and then Black Ops 3 was great for high rounds. It was great for Easter eggs. Every type of aspect of player that you wanted to do, you could go off and go for it. So it was really fun, and that's why Black Ops 3 is the best Call of Duty Zombies game of all time. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I hope that this list changes, and I really hope that we get like a top 5 zombies game in 2024. And I really hope the last map that comes out with Call of Duty Vanguard probably next month is a banger as well. I really am hoping for that, but we'll have to wait and see. And I'm really disappointed that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is going to be a 2-year game. Apparently there was rumors that it might not be. I really don't know what's going on. We also have the possibility of a standalone zombies game as well, which is a huge rumor, probably not true either. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But anyways guys, that is my ranking of all of the Call of Duty Zombies games. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.